Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I'm talking about how the struggle can be the reward. Now, the average person avoids challenges like he's avoiding the plague. That's natural. It's normal. Struggling is not enjoyable. So it is natural to avoid it as much as possible. But there's an issue with that strategy. A lot really can be gained from the struggle. So if we are always avoiding the struggle, we are also missing out on a lot that we could have gained. Now, I don't think you have to go out looking for struggles. Life will send many of them to you. Life will probably send enough of them to the average person. Now, there are many aspects to humans that are anti-fragile, meaning that stress makes them stronger. Humans are made stronger by stress. And there's lots of different kinds of stress out there. And I think the kind of stress you're dealing with, like I was dealing with when I was feeling anxiety as my constant companion, is overwhelming. You can't catch your breath because you can't break the cycle. So that is stress that has become distressing and unrelenting, which is really not a good feeling, and it isn't good for you. But myself and many of the people that I have worked with over the years see the reward of coming through the anxious fire. You know, I hear from a lot of people who will say, I just can't wait for this anxiety and panic to be down to a dull roar or completely gone, or that I'm on the other side of it because I can't wait to go back to who I was before. But the reality is you are never going to go back to that person. You will be different, because you have gone through a journey, an experience that has changed you. And I want you to know that it has changed you for the good, and that this struggle that you are going through now can be part of the reward. You really are going to look at it differently when you come to the other side. Right now you are in the thick of it. You are tired. You may be actually physically in pain from it. There's so many things that are going on. You can't do what you need to do or what you desire to be doing in your life. You feel held back, but this is not forever. Just know that this struggle can be your reward when you get through to the other side. Like I said, many of the people that I've worked with, and myself included, see the reward of coming through the anxious fire. You know, we can't go back to the person we once were. We will be different one way or another. We come out of the other side much more substantial, and we come out the other side wiser than when we started. Yeah, I know the journey can be a long one for some of us. I struggled for decades. But never doubt your ability to learn many lessons along the way that may not have been learned any other way. And you don't really have a choice. You're in the middle of it. So why not glean something from it rather than wanting to just cut it off and pretend it never happened? When you get to the other side, you will be able to start seeing the changes and seeing how good you are actually doing and coming out the other side. Now, that is because struggle and stress can be really helpful to us. They have positive benefits. As an example, exercise is a stress on us, and it delivers positive benefits. Being hot or cold within reason, not to the point of causing yourself to be burned, is also good for your health. We go into hot tubs. We go into hot saunas. We go into cold plunges. We go into cold lakes. those are also good for our health, and those are stresses on the body. Fasting is a stress on the body, and that also is beneficial. Struggling is similar in that it makes you better than you were before the struggle. Let's consider some of the benefits of struggling. The first one, you learn a lot about yourself when you struggle. You don't learn a lot about yourself while you're watching a movie for the fourth or fifth time while you're sitting comfy on your couch. That's all fun and enjoyable, but you're not learning anything. And when life is easy, you have a natural tendency to coast. And we need those times. Believe me, we pine after those times. I know we need to rest and recover and recuperate, but we can't live our life there. Life is about, it has pressure on it and then it's relieved. Just like everything else, we breathe in, we breathe out. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. Life is about back and forth. And so you can't live with just coasting and you can't live with just stress. And there are different kinds of stress. And so we will talk more about that in the future too. Any struggle is a test of your will, your ingenuity, and your perseverance. So think of it that way. When you are stressed, think about what you have to pull up to get through a challenge and go for it and do it. And feel yourself getting stronger, just like when you are exercising, just like when you are lifting those weights. You are hurting that muscle. You are tearing that muscle down in order for it to grow back what? It grows back stronger. Back and forth, though. You can't just keep breaking it down. You have to have the recovery days where everything builds and you are replacing your muscle. This is the way life is. So why not take the struggle and see that it could be a reward? It's a chance to learn how to use failure. Struggles often end in failure. Failure is a powerful tool when it's used properly. If you never struggle, you never get to practice using failure to your advantage. The most successful people in life fail a lot. They also know how to use failure to come back better and stronger. And some people would say that the only failure is in not trying again, not getting up again. That is the failure. Everything else, as we say in our group, everything else is research and development. R&D, all of life. We are testing, we are trying, and we are developing as we go. You also have the opportunity to learn that failure isn't as traumatic as you thought. We are often just afraid of struggling. We are afraid of failure. And this is especially for anxious people or people who lean toward being worried about everything or wanting perfection. We have to look at failure as a way to come back stronger. That will keep you from not being so afraid of it or thinking that it is trauma. You can learn to persevere. The average person won't struggle very hard or for very long before giving up. Any challenging time can be used to increase your perseverance, but you have to be thinking about it. You have to say, this is hard, but I'm going to push through. What would happen if I just try and if I keep going and see if I can struggle through this, even though it's hard, if I can do it. Success is practically guaranteed if you don't give up on your goals. Now, discipline is required. To overcome challenge, discipline is required. It's easy to procrastinate when you have to do challenging things. Discipline is needed to do the hard thing. This was a tough one for me. I'm not an extremely disciplined person. And so I've learned it over the years, over time. As the years go by, I have gotten more disciplined. Why? Because I saw what it did for me. It's like having riverbanks. Water just left out is like a flat pond or a flat wetland. doesn't really have any movement. But if you were to pull that water in, bring in some riverbanks, and have that water tighter, it would start flowing. That water then starts going somewhere. So the more we can put some of those riverbanks into our life, okay, I got this lane I'm in, I got to keep going. We can feel the movement, and it actually feels good. That's where then discipline actually becomes your friend. It doesn't feel like the stick anymore. It feels much more like the carrot. You can become mentally stronger. Struggling can make you stronger psychologically. People that have had an easy life tend to be mentally more aloof or soft, right? Only those who have faced struggles have had the chance to build mental toughness. That's where what you are going through is actually building something inside of you that could not have been built any other way. This is your particular recipe for building your very own strength psychologically. Think about someone you know that's had an easy life. Maybe they are young still. Most people who are older have had difficulties, but just think about it. The people who have struggled are probably the people in your life. They're tough. They do have discipline. They do keep going. And you are keeping going too. You're still here with me. You have not given up. You're going to do this. This is a challenging little space in your life, but it will not be forever. And fortunately, we have so much more information about anxiety now. We do not need to struggle as long as we did in the past when we didn't even know what was going on. So with struggle, your self-confidence increases. Effectively dealing with struggles makes you feel like you can take on the world. You can feel more confident and powerful. You gain self-confidence by dealing with adversity. Now, you aren't feeling that maybe right now, but this is being built in you little by little. It's like, you go to the gym and you worked really hard and your muscles are tired. And you did everything your trainer set out for you. And you come home and you look in that mirror, you don't look any different. It's okay. It's okay. It's happening. You just can't see it. And it's going to take a while before you see it. So my point to you is just don't give up. Keep hanging in there. You got this. Easy victories don't feel super meaningful. When you have struggled and had to get through something, the victory is sweeter. The more you struggle, the more you appreciate the success. If you can easily finish a marathon, you just don't get the same satisfaction as you do when it's a real struggle to finish those last 7 miles. People that have to really push, they just have a different feeling about it. And you may feel differently about yourself as you get through this struggle. Putting up a good fight is great for your self-esteem, especially if things work out in the end. With anxiety and panic and other mental distresses that we talk about here, you guys are going to get out of this in the end. And just knowing that you were willing to keep going when maybe everybody else didn't, or somebody around you would have given up, that's a good feeling. You kept going. So this is your chance to feel, even just now today, the strength you have to do whatever it is you're doing, the practices that you're doing, or even just coming and turning the show on. It's like, okay, I'm going to listen again. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to ride this ride. We admire others who persevere through obstacles, and you'll like yourself in a whole new way when you overcome this anxiety obstacle too. Life's other challenges seem small by comparison. Let me tell you, when you are struggling with something as big as what you're struggling with daily anxiety monkey on your back, a lot of other things pale in comparison. People that have never struggled are often stressed by very small things. Those that have lived hard lives take everything in stride. You will see that you have more patience and more ability to shake things off once you are getting that nervous system back down to where it comes up. When that parasympathetic nervous system pops up when you need it, and then as soon as you feel safe, it dies right back down again. just as nature intended it. You will get there, and you will remember when it didn't do that and be grateful for the time that you are in when it's easy, when it flips back and forth with ease. There will be no way that little small things are going to be driving you crazy. You will know what struggle was, and you are grateful that you're not there. Struggling is not so bad for you. It's actually good for you. You remember the old adage, we've all said this, that which doesn't kill me makes me stronger, holds a lot of truth. That's why we've been saying it. When you struggle, you grow and you become more capable. It can increase your confidence, your mental stamina, and your appreciation for life. And isn't that what we're all about here? The gratitude. We want to keep ourselves appreciating life. And once you've struggled, man, all the little things in life that are beautiful, they sparkle and shine like they never did before. Be willing to take on the challenges in your life, including this anxiety journey. You will come out the other side of it. So take it on as if you are a champion, like you are working your way through this. However, I want you to be smart and use your energy wisely. Some struggles are more worthwhile than others. What I mean by that is, don't go out looking for struggles. If you're listening to this show, you've already got probably plenty of them. There are people who are in need of struggle, like they don't have enough of it, and so they have to go out and find difficult things to do or mountains to climb, so forth and so on. And that's wonderful. That's their recipe for life, and they are doing that. But if you're listening to this show, I think you may already have enough struggle in your life. But you may find when you come out the other side that you're looking for things, challenges, and ways to stretch yourself, the way that you stretched yourself and grew through your anxiety journey. So find meaningful struggles in your life to conquer, and you'll be enjoying the benefits. And now for today's quote. We must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey. And that's from Kenji Miyazawa. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.